Hey everybody, it's Yummy Monday again. Today we are again making two recipes and they're kind of similar. Both of them we're going to be making Santa snacks. So we're going to get started with our first recipe, which is kind of, I like to call a Santa brownie. So what you need is a little tiny brownie. I am in this case using little chocolate chip muffins that I made up ahead of time, so you can use brownies or chocolate chip muffins, whatever you like. So you need those. Whoops, my muffins are falling over. And I'm doing 4, so I have 4 muffins and 4 strawberries. And then you can either use frosting or whipped cream. We're going to do 2 of frosting and 2 with whipped cream. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is get a plate. This is really simple, really fun, and really delicious. So we're going to take one of our muffins, and let's start with the frosting. So we're going to take our frosting and just take a little bit. Again, I'm using these baby spoons that are just so wonderful and come in so handy. And we're going to just frost the top of our cupcake. Just spread it around. You mainly want to be sure you get the edges because you're not going to see the middle. So as long as you get the edges, we'll be in good shape. Let's go ahead and do our other frosting one while we've got our frosting out. And this is a fun recipe that you could make up ahead of time and then put at each person's place setting for Christmas dinner. That would be a fun way to welcome them to celebrate Christmas dinner and also make them hungry for dessert the whole time they're eating the delicious Christmas dinner. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is take one of our strawberries and just stick it right on top. Just like that. It'll fit right into the frosting. And we'll take this one and stick it right on like that. And now we're going to take, whoops, I need a toothpick, I forgot. A toothpick is another thing that you need. So I'm going to get my trusty toothpick and put some frosting on the toothpick because we're going to kind of paint. We're actually going to use this part as glue, kind of. Just get a little bit and then put some right here like we're going to put eyes. So you need to get just enough so that we're going to use little chocolate chips for the eyes, just enough so that they stick. You could also put the frosting on the back of the chocolate chip. That might stick better. We'll find out here. So we just take our chocolate chip and stick it right on here. I got a little sloppy with the frosting, so that looks a little crazy, but will be neater next time. And then we're going to take a little bit of the same frosting and put it on top. And you tell me, does that look like a little Santa brownie? Isn't that cute? So we'll go ahead and do our whipped cream one. You know what, guys? You can't see, but Taste Tester's laughing at me. I think that means he's just that excited to eat this. That's what I think. So we're going to do same thing with our whipped cream. Just spread it around. I think the part he thought was so funny was the eyes. So you wouldn't have to put the eyes on if you wanted to make Santas with no eyes. You could certainly do that. Whoops. I think the strawberry was maybe too big for our muffin. Get back up there. Okay. We'll go ahead and use whipped cream on this other one. Spread it around. Now this is really delicious just like this. If you want to just make this, oh, what would really be good too is if you had some red sprinkles, you could just get to this step and then sprinkle red sprinkles on top. That would be great too. Okay, so we're going to put our little Santa hat on. Move this one up here so you can see it since this is our whipped cream. And we will not put the eyes on this time, and we'll see if he likes this a little bit better. Put a little dollop right on top, and a little dollop right on top. I think an important lesson we're learning is that you don't want your strawberries to be too big. I think this strawberry is just too big for this muffin. So this is our first recipe of our little Santa brownie cupcakes. So I'm going to go get Taste Tester to give these a shot while I'm getting ready for the next part of our video.
Hello, Junior Bakers. This does not look like a Santa Claus, I'm sorry to say. So let me fix it. first what you're going to do, after you get to this stage, which is very good, I think we've got a nice face going on here with a nice hat fringe and a red hat and a little ball on top. That's nice. But Santa's eyes do not belong on his hat. They belong on his head. So we're going to put some eyes there. So what you want to do is take your toothpick. First, lick off your fingers because that's important so that nobody else steals your food. And then you take a chocolate chip. And usually I like to use the larger chocolate chips because these are just way too small. Put a little bit of Cool Whip on your chocolate chip eye there, and then attach it right to the crown of the muffin. And then we'll go ahead and we'll get another chocolate chip. Make sure you lick off your finger again. Put a little bit of lick off your finger again. Little Cool Whip on the eye. Because you don't want a Cyclops Santa. You want Santa to have 2 eyes. There. Now you need to add a beard. So go ahead and scoop up some more whipped cream. Then you put a little bit of beard on there. Now, we're getting somewhere here. Make sure his beard goes all the way up to his hat, as it should. And we got a little bit too much there. Now you know what we're missing is the mustache. We've got the beard, but we need to add a little bit of a mustache on there. Because Santa is quite a heavily haired man. So we'll just add a little bit there. See how it's coming together? Now, what we'll do is we'll take a little bit of maraschino cherry, and we're gonna give him some lips. So you just cut off just the edge. Make sure you lick off the frosting, and then you stick the little maraschino cherry in there, and now that is what a Santa should look like. Some of his beard came off. Now we're going to taste test.
Okay, now we're back for part 2, recipe number 2. Now these I like to call cool Santas, and you'll see why I think in just a minute. We have just a couple of ingredients for this one too. So the first thing we need are some round crackers, and we need some cream cheese. Now if you don't like cream cheese, you could also get this squirty cheese, but only in white. The store today that I bought this at only had yellow, so we're not using this, but they do make this in the white cheese, so if you get the white squirty cheese, then you just kind of paint on, which works just fine. We need a piece of pepperoni, and we need a black olive. So, let's hope I can get this one right, and Taste Tester won't have to correct my mistakes. Okay, so we're going to take our cracker, and we're going to take just a little bit of cream cheese, and we're going to just spread it on. We're making the beard. So just spread it around. These are a nice appetizer to have around at Christmas. Okay. Alright, now what we're going to do with our spreader is take just a little bit of our cream cheese and just put it up at the top just like that. This is going to be our glue for our hat. And you might be able to guess that our hat is pepperoni. So we're going to take, I've already made a sample. That's why our pepperoni is cut in half. So you take your pepperoni and you're going to just make a triangle. So here's our hat. We are going to stick it on our cream cheese glue, and you'll see a little bit of the glue coming out. That's okay. What we're going to do now is take a little bit more cream cheese, and spread it on here to make our, well, we might want to use our toothpick actually, to make some fur around our hat. We can kind of take some of it from the beard. We have plenty on the beard. We'll just make our fur on his hat, and then we'll put a little bit on the very top, because Santa has fur on the top of his hat as well, if it will stay. There we go. Okay, so now you're kind of starting to see it come together. So the next thing we're going to do is take our black olive that's been cut in half, and we're going to cut this half in half. So we're going to have a quarter of an olive, and these are going to be his eyes. And this is why I call him Cool Santa, because when you put these on, it kind of looks like sunglasses. So there you have our Santa appetizers. I think these would be wonderful. Anybody you serve these to would be so excited. Can you imagine if you had a whole plate of these sitting on your table when your guests arrive, or your grandma and grandpa came over, or whoever you're having at your house? I think they would be so impressed. Speaking of impressing people, I'm going to see what Taste Tester thinks. I'm kind of nervous after our last disaster.
Family and friends. She's a magician in the kitchen. Watched on Mondays and Thursdays. Cooking yummy foods and tasty treats. Give up orders and taste the bun sleep. It's time to eat.